Hello and welcome to World War I News. Today we have a special guest, a lieutenant, a son, a hero, William Joseph Robert Cheeseman. We're here to interview you. Tell us about your early life. I was born on the 12th of January 1894 in a small town called Wickham in New South Wales. I have two loving parents, Joseph Ernest Cheeseman, my dad, he was a cab driver, and my mum, Annie Amelia. They sound like beautiful people. What about your education? I went to Wickham Superior Public School for my primary education, a lovely school. I went to Islington Public School for my secondary education. I graduated there. I went to become a salesman with David Cohen and Co. Before you went to war, correct? When I was only 18 in 1913, and I was commissioned in the 16th Infantry Battalion. Still so young. You would have only just graduated. Well, in 1915, when I was 20, I joined the Australian Imperial Force as a lieutenant. I was embarked to Egypt in November to the 30th Battalion, and I was promoted captain when I was 21. Could you tell us about the enlistment process? How did you find about joining the war? Well, of course. I remember it very vividly. I was down at the corner shop one day, looking at newspapers, and I saw the advertisement to enlist for the war. It was very convincing, with the man with the tall hat pointing at you, telling me that my country needed me. So the next day, I went down to the post office and sent my letter, and off I went. It seemed so easy for such a big project. Pretty easy. I remember coming home and telling Mum what I had done. She was proud of me, and that I enrolled, and sad that I had to leave. So was Dad, proud but sad. It must have been tough on them, having their only son leave for war. The day that I left, the whole family was there. Mum, Dad, Grandpa, Grandma. Everyone was so sad that I had to go and fight for my country. You're a very brave man, William. You said before that you had a company. What's that about? I was a salesman. I worked for David Cohen and Co. It was a massive warehouse that manufactured everything, such as groceries, ironmongery, furniture, china, and other fancy goods. Do you know how the fire started? The fire started, but it was in the packing room. A train driver was going past on a nearby railroad track. He said that he saw flames coming out of the window and alerted some nearby shunters. I remember a few minutes later, the alarm bell went off. By the time the alarms went off, the fire had gotten severely larger. Lucky that train driver was coming past. The fire could have gotten major easily. How did they get it out? I'm not 100% sure how they got the fire out, but since the fire grew so quickly due to the drought, I'm surprised that they got it all out. What about your achievements in the war? Did you get any medals? For 14 medals. I won't tell you all of them, but I did get a Military Cross, Mention in Dispatch, and Distinguished Service Order. I'm proud of myself. Wow, 14 medals. Tell us about your life after the war. The war ended in 1918. I went on with my business career. I owned stores at Combine and Terry. And in the 1930s, I became a manager for Woolworths. While I was working in Woolworths, I got married and had 2 children. I lived in Adelaide with my family. And could you tell us how the food was given out? Well, in the mornings, we were all given out little bags of food, such as bread, rum, jam, cheese, small things like that. That's good. Better than nothing. Another question. To you, what was the worst part about war? It would be after effects of war. So many people that I know got mental disorders, physical changes after the war. War really changes people. What was the medical care like in war? Hurt in the battlefield, you'd be taken out by a stretcher or on a donkey and taken away to the emergency centre, which was a tent. If you were to get a major wound, they'd have to amputate it. So many people that I knew got that done. All the people who got amputated would be sent home. We lost thousands of soldiers for them having to get amputated. Well, that wraps up our interview. Thank you so much for coming in, William. Truly inspiring. Well, that's all we have time for today. Till next time, good night.